Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ralf Rangnick versus Marcelo Bielsa. Who will come out on top? Marcelo Bielsa has been the Leeds manager for quite a few years now. Got a pretty decent pedigree behind him. A long time ago he managed Argentina. Last year Bielsa signed a 1-year contract. He only signs 1-year contracts. A lot of years ago, Marcelo Bielsa worked alongside Pep Guardiola, and Bielsa taught Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola has been following Marcelo Bielsa's philosophy at Man City. Leeds lost their last game to Everton 3-0. They are 15th in the Premier League at the moment. Leeds have been very poor this season. They were far superior last season. Last season Leeds finished 9th, so they did enjoy a very good season to their standards. The season before last, Leeds won the Championship. That was their first trophy in 28 years. Leeds got relegated back in 2004, so they was out of the top flight for 16 years. The last time we lost to Leeds was in the FA Cup third round back in January 2010. It was 1-0 to Leeds. Jermaine Beckford scored. This fixture at Ellen Road last season was 0-0. Don't forget, in that game, Calvin Phillips had Bruno Fernandes in his pocket. Manchester United beat Leeds 5-1 at Old Trafford on the opening day of this season. Man United beat Leeds 6-2 at Old Trafford last season. Man United beat Leeds 4-0 in pre-season in Australia. That was back in the summer of 2019. And Man United beat Leeds in the League Cup back in 2011 3-0. Now, I do know a lot of the players that Leeds have got, like I mentioned on the preview. Rafinha, he's the best player Leeds have got, but Rafinha has been out of form recently. You know, Rafinha will be hoping to regain his form. Rafinha will play in this game on Sunday. Rodrigo, he did well recently, but I think Rodrigo has been a very poor signing for Leeds. He's done nowhere near as well as a lot of Leeds fans expected. Leeds got Rodrigo from Valencia. Diego Llorente, he's also very good. Junior Firpo, he's been poor for Leeds as well, but he's had a few injuries, hasn't he? He's out with injury at the moment. Daniel James, he's done very well since he went to Leeds. Leeds got Daniel James from us last year. The reason we sold him is because he didn't really get in our team. If Daniel James plays on Sunday, he'll be reuniting with Manchester United. Bamford, he's also very good. You know, he scores a lot of goals, does Bamford. Bamford won't be playing in this game on Sunday because he's out with injury. Leeds got Patrick Bamford from Middlesbrough. Joe Gelhardt, he's a striker. Young player, Leeds got him from Wigan. They also have Sam Greenwood. Sam Greenwood is an under-23s player. I have seen him play in Leeds' first team. Leeds got Sam Greenwood from Arsenal. Somerville, he's a winger for Leeds. Don't really know much about him. Calvin Phillips, he's a very good midfielder. Don't forget my club Manchester United are in for him, and Arsenal and Liverpool recently entered the race. Leeds value Calvin Phillips at around £60 million. Calvin Phillips doesn't want to leave Leeds, does he? But he won't finish his career with Leeds. Very sceptical about that. Calvin Phillips is out with injury at the moment, so he's unlikely to be playing in this game. Jack Harrison, I think he's a pretty good player. Leeds got Jack Harrison from Man City. Don't forget before, Jack Harrison was on loan at Leeds for 3 seasons. And then obviously after that, Leeds got him permanently. Liam Cooper, don't rate him, to be honest with you. He can't cross a ball. Cooper is out with injury at the moment. Matthias Click, don't really rate him, but he has had his good games at Leeds. They've got Robin Koch. I think he'll be playing in this game on Sunday, with obviously Calvin being injured and Liam Cooper and that being injured. Stuart Dallas, he's a very good player. Stuart Dallas is versatile, he can play in various positions. I think Stuart Dallas is predominantly a right back. Stuart Dallas is out with injury. They also have Lou Kaelin, I think he's a defender, he's good. Tyler Roberts, he's a young player but don't really rate him, to be honest with you. Adam Forshaw, at one point he was out with injury for a while. They also have that Jamie Shackleton. And the Leeds goalkeeper is Melee. Well, he's Leeds' first choice goalkeeper. Don't forget Leeds lost Alioski. He went to Saudi Arabia from Leeds. So there you go. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 2-0 win against Brighton. Reflecting on the win against Brighton, that moved Manchester United back into the top 4. The goals against Brighton came from Cristiano Ronaldo. It was an amazing goal from Ronaldo. And it ended Ronaldo's goal drought. It was Ronaldo's first goal of 2022. He should have had more than one goal against Brighton because he had some good headed chances. And Man United's second goal against Brighton came from Bruno Fernandes in the 97th minute of stoppage time. We do have some players out, but not many. We have Edison Cavani out at the moment. I think he's out until early March. Edison Cavani is expected to leave as a free agent in the summer, and Cavani prefers a move to La Liga. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Man United got him on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Varane, I think he's got a stomach injury. He didn't play any part in the game against Brighton because Varane pulled out in the warm-up due to illness. So obviously Lindelof started ahead of Varane against Brighton. Eric Bailly, he's still injured, but Bailly doesn't really get in the team. Bailly will leave Manchester United in the summer. Matic, he's out. Not so long ago, he picked up a shin injury. And that's about it. I am expecting Manchester United to beat Leeds. Ralf Rangnick, you know, he's been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 3 months. He's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did initially say that he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Said not so long ago that Rangnick wants the permanent Man United job. Rangnick has managed 14 games so far in all competitions. He's lost 2 games in all competitions. He's lost just 1 game in the Premier League. So he hasn't done a bad job, has he? I've got a lot of respect for Rangnick. I think he's a very good coach. Well, he's a German coach. The vast majority of German coaches are very good. Rangnick has enjoyed 1 transfer window as Manchester United's interim manager. And unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in the January transfer window. And he actually got promised as well that he was going to get backed. Man United endured a very disappointing January transfer window because we didn't make any signings, and you know, Manchester United wanted to sign a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. We should have let Lingard and Henderson leave last month, but Man United blocked their exits. We had the incident with Mason Greenwood towards the end of last month. Man United did loan quite a few players out though last month. We loaned Donny van der Beek out to Everton. We also loaned Anthony Marcelo out to Sevilla. We loaned Amad Diallo out to Rangers. We loaned Ethan Laird out. Tuan Zebe went out on loan to Napoli. And Teden Menga went out on loan to Birmingham. So around 8 players left last month. I've got to give credit to Rangnick as well because he has made changes since he come in. Earlier on this season he recommended Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. And before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Manchester United's next permanent manager will either be Mauricio Pochettino or Erik ten Hag. Now, earlier on today, I gave you some more news on Mauricio Pochettino. Sky Sports said that Man United's plans to appoint Mauricio Pochettino is in doubt, with Real Madrid interested. The Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, is furious with Real Madrid's defeat to PSG in the Champions League. And Florentino Perez is unhappy with Carlo Ancelotti. So Real Madrid want to replace Ancelotti with Mauricio Pochettino. Not so long ago, though, it did say that Pochettino is open to joining Man United after falling out with PSG because of the summer arrival of Lionel Messi. The other week, Pochettino responded to Manchester United's interest, and Pochettino did insist that he's still 200% focused on PSG, despite Man United's interest. The other week it said Man United players want Mauricio Pochettino as their next manager. But Rangnick and Richard Arnold want Erik ten Hag. Earlier on this season, Pochettino reportedly told his friends he will be leaving PSG in the summer. PSG are trying to get Zidane to replace Pochettino. Yet Erik ten Hag, like I've just said, Rangnick and Richard Arnold want him, so too a lot of Manchester United fans want Erik ten Hag. Prior to the Southampton game, it said Man United added Luis Enrique to their managerial short list. Man United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, he sacked David Moyes after 10 months, then sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. We did win the FA Cup under him. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did win 3 trophies in his first season, and last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Man United's only chance of a trophy this season is the Champions League. I'm very sceptical we'll win the Champions League, so it's going to be another trophyless season for Man United. You know, Man United have not won a trophy since 2017. We've not won the Premier League since 2013. In the summer, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club. So in the summer, I reckon Dean Henderson will leave. Henderson should have left last month, like I've mentioned on my recent videos, but we've blocked his exit. Henderson doesn't get in goal much because we revert back to last summer. De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. And Henderson's only made 3 appearances this season. Earlier on this season, he had COVID for a while. Not so long ago, Henderson got arrested for abusing his girlfriend. Henderson has got that experience behind him because before he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. And he's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Phil Jones, he will leave Man United in the summer. I wanted him to leave last month, but he didn't. Don't forget, on deadline day last month, Fabrizio Romano did say that Jones rejected a loan move to Bordeaux. But it did actually say in the January window that Jones had reached an agreement to go on loan with Bordeaux in order to get more playing time, and reports from France said at the time that Phil Jones' talks were at final stages. But Rangnick said, he was happy for Jones to stay. Jones did come on in the cup game against Middlesbrough, and he started in the 1-0 defeat to Wolves at Old Trafford earlier on this season. That's only because Maguire picked up an injury. At one point, Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. This season's been his 11th season at Man United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Eric Bailly, like I said earlier on, he'll leave Man United in the summer. Man United will look to sell Harry Maguire in the summer because Harry Maguire is not good enough to represent the club. Yes, he did well against Brighton, but having won good games obviously not going to change my perception on him. Against Brighton he looked solid and he was good in possession, he brought the ball out well from the back, but he's got to persist with them good performances. Prior to the game against Brighton, Rangnick was protecting Harry Maguire. He said Maguire is the captain and I've no reason to change that. A lot of Man United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire. Maguire's been at Manchester United over 2 years now. He's endured a few injuries as well since he came to the club. Man United overpaid for him. We got Maguire for 80 million, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. And Wan-Bissaka, he'll leave in the summer. Bissaka doesn't get in the team now, does he? Because Delors is our first choice right back under Rangnick. Matic, I'm expecting him to leave Manchester United in the summer. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. I've always had my reservations about Matic because he's always been a static player, plus he's aging up, but despite that he's had his good games at Man United. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him in a deal worth 40 million. Like I said, he's not available at the moment because he's out with a shin injury. And yesterday I gave you the news on Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is open to Premier League offers if he leaves Manchester United this summer. Pogba's out of contract at Manchester United in the summer. Not so long ago it said Pogba would be open to staying at Man United beyond the end of his contract. And earlier on this season, it did mention that Pogba would be willing to stay at Man United as long as Ralf Rangnick is the manager for next season, because when them reports came out, it said Pogba's been impressed by Ralf Rangnick since his arrival. To Paul Pogba's credit, he's done really well since he recovered from injury. He did well when he came on against Brighton recently, got an assist and also made some nice touches when he came on. Did well in the 1-1 draw against Southampton. Unfortunately had a goal disallowed in that game. He did well against Burnley at Turf Moor. He scored in that game. That was his first goal of the season. And he did well on his return in the cup game against Middlesbrough. If you do remember rightly, Pogba was the one that won the penalty in normal time in the cup game against Middlesbrough. Pogba is injury prone because he's endured quite a few injuries since he re-signed. Manchester United paid £89 million for Pogba, so he's the most expensive signing at the moment. This season's been his 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's played over 200 games since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Jesse Lingard, he'll leave Manchester United as well in the summer. Like I've said, Cavani will leave in the summer. And there's a good chance that Ronaldo will leave. So anyway guys, on my next video I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for this game against Leeds. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.